in a Literoma award ceremony. And this happens to be the Independence Day, and the time is so good for talking to people. It's a post-lunch session. I hope we will have a wonderful. Hello?
Yeah, your voice is coming very low.
Okay. So now is it all right?
Yeah, much better, sir.
Yeah. So basically, I think we will have a beautiful chat and a session today. And as far as the audio-visual presentation of my works is concerned, I must say that these are animated motion graphic films with original background music, and the narration and the reading out of the poems and the prose pieces have been done by me. I think they will be successful here as well. First of all, and I think my end speech is going to be more interesting than my starting speech, because I will know the people who are getting the awards, and then I'll have something to say more directly and more specific. And I wish and congratulate all the winners in advance, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Your speeches are always interesting, so definitely we will definitely look forward to it. So now we will go ahead with the two segments which I was mentioning earlier. So one segment, so we instead of doing it one by one, we had sandwiched both. So we will have the Independence Day campaign winners reading their entries which they had submitted describing independence in their own words. That will be one aspect. And also in between, we will be requesting the Achiever Awards winners to say a few words for us. So here we begin with the Independence Day campaign winners. So first, whom we have here in the list is Mr. Sai Prakash. So do we have you here in the call? I'll request you to unmute yourself and say read the message which you had submitted.
Can I read my submission which I submitted for the
yes,
competition?
Sir. Absolutely, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Literoma. It's been a wonderful journey with you. Your prompt responses and the way that you have taken forward this particular program on Independence Day celebrations. I may be allowed to read my submission, a very short. Literoma is independence. I can breathe freedom, my thoughts and actions devoid of shackles. I can breathe freedom, my thoughts and actions devoid of shackles, a scope to realize my dreams with unchained opportunities. I can breathe freedom, my thoughts and actions devoid of shackles, a scope to realize my dreams with unchained opportunities. My head held high, saluting to the flag of my nation. My head held high, saluting to the flag of my nation. National anthem played. National anthem played. I joined my voice loud and fearless. National anthem played. I joined my voice loud and fearless. I tread on the roads. I tread on the roads paved by my hero's sacrifice. I joined my voice loud and fearless. I tread on the roads paved by my hero's sacrifice. I fly like an avian. I fly like an avian, soaring the blue skies. I fly like an avian, soaring the blue skies. Thank you very much. And once again, I should thank you for the prompt replies and the way that particular program has been organized. All the best. And I have been fortunate now to listen to our chief guest. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sai. Thanks a lot. Pleasure is all ours. Now I'll move to our next selected author, Mr. Rajiv. Sir, I'll request you also to read the message that you had shared with us on independence.
Yes, thank you. Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Warm greetings to everyone for the Independence Day. I'll just simply put it. What I had written was Independence Day to me. The tricolor flying high, pride in our great heritage, hope and confidence in a bright, dazzling tomorrow, smiling children eating chocolates. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a lovely thought, put in a very simple manner. Really, I'm sure that it is going to stay with all of us for very long. Thank you so much, sir. After Rajiv, sir, we will be moving to Sonal Sharma. I think Sonal has not joined the call. So therefore, I'll move forward. And we'll begin with our Achiever Award 2021. So we have our first winner. We have our first winner from all the way from Poland, Eliza Segiet. I'm not sure if Eliza has joined this call. Okay, in case she's not here, I'll make a move. And if she joins, we'll definitely love to get back to her. We have our second winner from Bangladesh, Mr. Asif Jahangir Orko. I think Asif is also not here. Just to say a few words about Asif. Asif is winning this particular award in the art and entertainment category. And he's a qualified architect cum filmmaker. He took a film only a couple of years back and already has directed, written, and produced multiple films, and those had received rave reviews across the globe. It would have been great to have you here, Orko, but we'll definitely love to come back if you join back later as well. We'll move to the third winner. The third winner for the day, Shrima. Shrima wins this Literoma Achiever Awards 2021 in the Star Achiever category for endless social service through over 1 lakh public welfare programs for common people, blinds, handicapped, and mentally disabled in schools, villages, and jails since 1998. So that is a huge impact that you are creating, ma'am, socially. We'd love to listen to you. Over to you, Shrima. Do we have any representative? I think Anjali will be representing.
Yeah.
Hi, Anjali. Yeah, over to you, Anjali. Anjali, if you have to mute yourself, you have to unmute yourself. Sorry, you have to unmute yourself. So
I'm feeling very grateful that this opportunity has been given to me out of these millions of, probably not, I can't even say millions of people, but billions of people that Shrima's life must have impacted in all these years that she has been doing public welfare activities. And I really feel very fortunate. My name is Anjali Sanghi, and I have, since I was very young, probably 2003, I just happened to chance to go there and to Shrima's, one of Shrima's courses, which was happening in Delhi. And I would say that, nobody really, like we think that it's a spiritual organization. We don't even know how it would be, what would be there. But just because my Mausi was going, so I went along with her, and my parents really agreed, which was quite a surprise for me, seeing all that has been happening spiritually around all these things which have been happening. But there, what we felt was so amazing that I cannot even tell you. That even at this point of time, there are people who are genuinely doing public welfare. And actually people are getting impacted in a way where their, whatever their problems are getting solved very quickly. It's not that you are stuck in some place, you have to follow somebody, and especially somebody who can tell us things scientifically. Even if we are inquisitive, we are told, we are explained everything scientifically. I really wanted that Shrima could be here herself, but because of her busy schedule, although she will never refuse to come anywhere, she would be so busy, but if you call her with love, she will never ever refuse. And just an hour ago, I happened to had a chance to talk to herself, and she said that she could not probably come today, and so I will have to just represent all of you, represent her today, and it's one of the biggest opportunities I think I've got. So what is it that she has done? Let me just share a little bit with you, because today it is not Shrima who has won. Literoma has nominated not just Shrima, but her Institute of Spiritual Sciences, which she established in 1998, and also Soul, which is Secrets of Ultimate Living. She has been guiding and helping people through these two organizations, and Literoma has also awarded them. So on behalf of all these three, I would like to read out a little about Shrima so that you can know whom we are talking about. So Shrima is a great divine personality on earth with a single purpose of genuine public welfare. And her commitment towards her children is so great that she's a truly exceptional human being, but she's a very, still she's very, very simple and down-to-earth person. And a human mother who has become an epitome of teaching spiritual, worldly, moral, ethical, emotional, or financial values by the way of simple meditations and practices and courses that everybody can do. So these are all completely based on science. And she always shows a positive way to progress in life to everyone, be it a young person, old person, a rich person, a poor, men or women. And her greatness lies in the fact that through her actual divine connection, she can figure out the right combination of natural paths for deep healing of everyone, or for every disorder or disease. And then she lovingly formulates it into an exclusive course for an individual or common course for a group of people suffering from the same disease or disorder, all that kind of problem, and empower them. So this is, maybe you are hearing it for the first time, but this has been happening since 1998. So the courses taught by her are based on inner science, spiritual science, and modern science. And thus they are based on facts and which bring actual results. During the common courses, everyone can learn from her directly: healing, meditation, yoga, acupressure, mudra, food therapy, for their particular problem. And not just that, any subject, it's very rare. I think it's actually not there that, one person can have knowledge of the universe. Almost you can say, having the knowledge of the whole universe. But she doesn't say that, she actually knows everything. It's just that connection which brings to her. Like, for example, the holy books have been written, what we call holy. So things which have come directly through divine connection, that is what has been called holy always. The Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Purans, and all of these books are actually called holy because human beings have not written them. The knowledge has come directly to them and they have written it down. In the same way, she says that she's just receiving the information, and actually when you put it into practice, like so many people have done, you can get actual results. One of our actual results is Manikya, my son, who was last year also, who has received last year 2 awards from Literoma. And he is the age of 12 years. And he's already won multiple world records and a lot of awards. And he's also an author now, published author of many books now. And why do I give this example? Not for personal gain, but for the fact that, even very little children, even not this, but, everybody can grow there. And he was not very used to, at birth, he was not very well. So all those impossible kind of diseases which he had got cured, and he has reached this height just in a matter of few years. So this is the height which everybody can reach through these practices that she's teaching. And of course, I would like to tell you that she doesn't enforce anybody to follow her spiritually. She's a scientist. Like scientists will receive information directly, ideas, she receives like that. She makes it, she does some, all the research that she has to, and then she formulates into something that can help that person or that group of people. So she has helped blinds, people in jail, people in villages, very poor people who have actually nothing at all. She has helped the richest of the richest, most famous of the famous. And rather you can say, all this, a lot of saints and sages of different religions, they come to her. But you will say you will never find any propaganda around her. You would have probably never seen anything happening, because that money is genuinely used into public welfare. So this I have seen since many, many years, and I'm very glad that, you are also getting to know about her. And it's really amazing that Literoma has recognized all these efforts, doing 1 lakh public welfare programs in a matter of just, 20 years, 23, 24 years is quite a big achievement. And you can imagine that while living as a normal person in a family, doing all this and impacting lives of people around the world is just something amazing, more than outstanding. So she's the master of masters, the teacher of teachers. If you're already in these lines, you can even extend your knowledge to very great heights. If you're already, into healing or meditation or something, you can learn from her, and you can actually reach the limits which you could have never thought they existed in meditation and yoga, pranayam, or anything. Or if you are in just not even looking for any spiritual growth, you are just looking to solve simple relationship problems, health problems, some are related to past life. So many things are there. So many questions are there that which we have. You are 40 plus and now you have so many problems in your body, in your mind, your relationships, financially. So many things that she has put together. So in a brief, because everybody has to speak, I can always keep on speaking about her. But very briefly, I would like to share that you can go to her website, which is blog.siddhashakti.tv. I will put it on the chat if it's allowed. You can go have a look what she's doing. She's been doing. And her videos are available on her YouTube channel, which is Institute of Spiritual Sciences, S in the end. Please remember, because there could be similar names. Okay, so you can have a look there. Most phenomenal thing which I can tell you is, other than all these outwardly things, is that her meditations do not require focus or concentration. So even if you are thinking you are very old, or if your child is very young, 2-3 years old or even younger, everybody, if you cannot even sit properly, if you not even in a stage of sitting properly, still people can do her meditations and benefit, because no focus, no concentration is required. So since scientifically world has progressed so much, so I'm sure she has been given that knowledge. She has that kind of great knowledge and great empowerment that in a matter of seconds and minutes she can empower millions of people together through her online channels.
This is great.
And you can go
Anjali.
and if you like it, please do help others. She's online programs are happening every Sunday. So you can always
Anjali,
contact
I think we can put the links of the channels.
Online.
I think Anjali, we can
definitely.
We can put the links of the channels.
It will be very nice if if this little talk would help anybody, might just empower lot of your friends and relatives around.
I'm sure, and Anjali, that will definitely happen.
Here. Just in case you're already into this field, go ahead and learn from her. You will
Anjali,
find that
am I audible?
Life go from where you're already
Anjali,
into great
am I audible?
because you are winning a Literoma award, but even to much greater heights which you could have never
Anjali,
imagined.
am I audible? Anjali,
so with that, I would like to again thank Literoma on behalf of Shrima and her whole team, Institute of Spiritual Sciences and Secrets of Ultimate Living, which is Soul. And may we all be blessed. And there's so many problems in the world going on. It is our duty to help each other once we've come to know about such a great thing, which is so easy to do. So I hope you will spread it out. You will help become a medium of helping and serving other people. like so many people have been doing.
Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we will definitely love to have
If there are
you
any
put
questions,
the
please
links.
put it on the chat and I will be very happy to.
Sure.
Sir, would you like to?
We can come back.
Would you like me to add something?
We can come back to you with the questions once we have a few questions in the chat box. Okay, so we'll be moving ahead. We'll be going to our next winner. Yeah. Am I not audible?
No, I think my volume was off. I am sorry if you said anything in between it.
No, I was saying that you can actually put the links in the chat box and we can explore the
sure. If
organizations further.
Yeah, I'll try to put some social media links also if you'd like to.
Sure. Cool.
Thank you so much.
So now we'll be moving to our next winner. We have prodigious writer Christy Khandelwal, actually, who had co-authored already multiple books and received many national and international awards for all those works. And she makes it to the list in the Young Achiever category of Literoma Achiever Awards. So over to you, Christy.
Thank you so much, Literoma, for appreciating my hard work and giving me the Young Achiever Award. I am very ecstatic. In every bad, there is something good. This lockdown has been very hard for all of us, but I have found it as an opportunity to explore my thoughts and creativity. Writing has always fascinated me, and I found it as a very beautiful form of art, and I've always wanted to do it. I've published many poems I wrote internationally and nationally, and I'm the co-author of various books and the author of the book, The Symphony of My Words. I thank my mom for her hard work and encouraging personality, as she is my backbone and a great reason of my success. She has been out there searching for various ways for others to appreciate my talent. And I love her so much. She's one of the most wonderful person I've known in my life. I would like to thank my father, as he is the one who instilled these thoughts in my head from the very beginning. He is an awesome person and an inspiration for me. And I would also like to thank my little brother whose smile brightens my day every time. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day to you too, Christy. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being such a wonderful talent. So we'll be moving to our next winner. Our next winner is well-known Bollywood star, Mr. Sajid Kapadia, a good friend of us. I think Sajid ji is not here in this call. So he wins the award anyways in the art and entertainment category. So I'll be moving ahead, and once he joins back, I'd love to come back to Sajid ji. Next, we have Dr. Aditya R. Nigot. So Dr. Aditya makes it to the list in the Young Achiever category of Literoma Achiever Awards. So Dr. Aditya is the best-selling author of 2 books. He had written already a couple of books, and both of them went on to become bestsellers. And being a doctor, he is currently working as a frontline COVID warrior, definitely. So a separate congratulations, definitely. You deserve it for that. And unfortunately, he could not make it here in this event because he's stuck with some medical commitment. So I'll move to the next winner. From US, we have Deboshree Boshak, who wins the Literoma Achiever Awards in the Woman Achiever category for her versatile contribution in the creative world in the last couple of years. Deboshree, do we have you here in this call? Okay, Deboshree is also not there. So we'll move ahead once again. We'll go back to the Independence Day campaign segment, where we will once again now request the next 3 winners to read out their messages. We'll start with Pragati. Pragati was there. I remember her in our last week's event as well. Pragati, are you there? Okay, in case Pragati has not joined, I'll move to Kirti V. I'll go to Kirti V. Kirti, if you are there, you may let us know. I guess Kirti got dropped off. I saw her name here in the panel. Anyways, we'll move to our next writer, Balika Sengupta. Balika, are you there? Okay. I think Balika is also not there. So we'll once again go back to Sir. So now we'll actually, as the name suggests, now we will actually have the Monsoon Adda. We love to have Monsoon Adda. We have gathered some questions actually for Sir, and we'll love to ask some of those. So Sir, if you are here, we'd like to know that how much of author's shadows are found in your characters, because there are so many characters that you had created in the last few years, and how much of author's shadows are found in your characters?
Well, you see, most of the books written by any author is, I think there's some noise somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
I
request
think
everyone to go on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in every work of any author, there will be autobiographical element somewhere or the other. Yes, people do say that the character which repeats by the name of Rahul in all my books is a shadow of mine. Well, it is partly true. Yes, some of the characters that Rahul possesses in some of the books are mine, and some of them are not. Even I would say in Frosted Glass, there was a story in which there was a female character by the name of Bimola, who I think has a lot of characteristics of mine. So to say that, and you know, ultimately I write about the things that I know well. So either I write about things that have happened to my life, or I write about things that I have seen happening in front of me or listened happening somewhere else. So I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, sir, that pretty well answers it actually. So actually talking about your characters, one more aspect which we had seen, that most of your characters are Bengali. So is that something that you purposely do, or it just happens that way?
Well, I am a Bengali and I am staying in Calcutta since 1982. Prior to that, I was brought up in Punjab, and prior to that, even I had lived in Kolkata. So I'm more or less a pure Bengali. So, and I know about the Bengali nuances, and I think I know about the Bengali nuances and the lives led by Bengali characters, both males and females, because of which I set my stories around Bengali households, because you have to write honestly, so you must write about things that you know well.
Absolutely, sir. That's perfectly put. But one follow-up question that actually comes here, you not only write stories, your writing caters to poems, stories definitely, and novels also. And this is definitely not an easy task at all. So how do you manage that?
I have
As well.
answered
So
at,
how do you
yeah, this I have answered at many places, that, you know, I don't tinker with the form in which my thoughts come to my mind. So I allow my natural thoughts to flow through my hands to my computer oblique laptop, just in the manner, the way my mind thinks. So if a thought comes in the format of a play, I will write a play. If it comes in the form of a short story, I will write a short story. If it comes in the format of a poem, I'll write a poem. If it comes in the format of a ballad, I will write a ballad. So the larger point is I don't tinker with my thoughts. In that sense, I'm a natural author.
That's great to know, sir. That's great to know. So, in that context, what actually made you publish your first book, Pentacles, which got a lot of positive reviews? What made you
Well,
publish?
yeah, well, Pentacles, I started writing very seriously from the month of June or July 2007. And I had already compiled the manuscript for 2 books within a year, and I started scouting for a publisher. It was very difficult for me to get a publisher. And then by 2010 beginning, I had, my publisher and I had come to an understanding that we had agreed upon the subjects, the formats, the experimentation that I do with my works. So we agreed to publish. Pentacles was first published. It is a compilation of a novella and 4 long ballads. And one of the ballads we will be showing today, The Tower. Well, by 2007, I wanted to pursue this profession very seriously. And frankly speaking, I'm a man with some Jewish instinct. So I wanted to write good books, and I wanted to earn money out of good books as well. So of course, I tried my hard to write good books and find a publisher, and thus Pentacles was published. And Pentacles was made into an Amazon Audible book in 2014 by the Australian jazz singer Colin Newcomer. And it was the first Amazon Audible book for an Eastern Indian writer.
That's a phenomenal achievement, sir. And I'm sure that when you said that in 2007 onwards, you actually took up writing more seriously. I think one of the points there was that in your engineering profession, you were perhaps too much into it. So that leads to one more question: that how different is engineer Sabarna Roy and the author Sabarna Roy?
No, I think we are the same person. I must tell you that I'm a civil engineer, and civil engineering is a great branch of engineering, the oldest branch of engineering, which actually deals with most of the variables of nature. It's highly poetic when one of the greatest poetic things about civil engineering is finite element modeling, now used in all the branches of engineering, including computer engineering and electronics engineering. So it's very poetic because it deals with the indeterminateness of life, the uncertainties of life. So it was very easy to gravitate from a civil engineer to being an author. And most importantly, my parents trained me and my sister to be interdisciplinary in nature. So we had interest in literature, history, various other streams of knowledge from very early on in life. Music, drama, theater, cinema, all the branches of arts and entertainment, and all the various disciplines. Although I'm an engineer, I keep acute interest into medicine as well.
Yes, so we know that you are into multiple things, and we had also got to know about this, that you are an avid reader. Actually, you are one of the most avid readers one can find. So from that standpoint, who is your favorite author and why? And does it have an impact on your own writing?
Well, if you ask me who is my most favorite author, it will be very difficult to pinpoint one author. My most favorite author that way is Albert Camus, the Franco-Algerian philosopher writer who wrote during the Second World War and just after the Second World War. and was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1961. Well, philosophically, Camus reinterpreted Friedrich Nietzsche, and Camus has tremendous impact on my life. Especially, I have read all his philosophical and literary works. He has all his diaries as well. He has a tremendous impact on my thinking, the way I think. But if you ask me who is my most favorite author or to which book I go back repeatedly, then I must tell you that it's Leo Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, which draws me, I don't know, which draws me like a very, very beautiful woman. You know, it attracts me like a very, very beautiful woman. So every time I want to read something again, I would read Anna Karenina. And I don't think there is a man who was so futuristic in thinking more than Leo Tolstoy. Among poets, of course, Pablo Neruda and T.S. Eliot. Robi Thakur, you see, the first book that I can remember I have read is Daghor by Robi Thakur. And I do not think I have read a better play than Daghor in my lifetime. And let me tell you, I have read a lot of the greatest of the playwrights, including Ionesco and Harold Pinter.
This is really interesting, sir. So since you talked about so many writers, one question which is actually coming to my mind is that in a lot of their writings, the spirituality and the romance, these two had been a couple of very critical ingredients. So do you as a person believe in God and love? And maybe why, if you can just explain on that, throw some light on that.
Well, personally, I'm an atheist. I do not believe in God. I do not believe in any religion. But I do believe in metaphysics because metaphysics is a very significant and a critical tool in understanding the realism of life. And metaphysics is also a very critical element or a critical tool, aesthetic tool in literature and arts. Like Marquez's magical realism or Salman Rushdie's magical realism. It's metaphysical way of looking at reality. Whether I believe in love, of course, I do believe in love, and I'm lovelorn all the time. I fall in love almost every day. And I can remember 12 or 13 years back, a woman friend of mine telling me, a man who falls in love so easily must be a very dangerous man.
This is really interesting. The conversation is really getting better and better. So we will take a break. We'll once again go to our Achiever Award winner, and we'll definitely come back to you with our next set of questions. It's
Okay,
really,
thank you.
We will love to know the man who is dangerous, definitely. So I'll move to the next segment. So again, Anjali had already talked about this. As Anjali had already mentioned, along with Shrima, we are also recognizing a couple of her institutes, and Soul is one of it, Secrets of Ultimate Living, as the full form says. And so since Anjali had already given a nice introduction about both the organizations, so I will go to our next winner. Our next winner is P.D. Jonaki. P.D. Jonaki is winning the Literoma Achiever Awards in the Author Achiever category. Ms. Jonaki is on top of being an awarded writer for her debut poetry book and an acclaimed creative contributor to many anthologies, she's also a social anthropologist by training. So a very interesting background from a writer standpoint. We'll definitely love to know more about you and how you are feeling about this particular award. Over to you, P.D. Jonaki.
Thank you so much, Kamal. A very good afternoon to all of you. Let me read out something which I have jotted down. As we watch business of life rolling by in the midst of ravaging COVID pandemic and clock ticking all the time, it is all the more important that we remain what we are and supplement the poet within us. I am so grateful and have no words strong enough to commend the efforts by Team Literoma to make us believe in ourselves and go forth and do. Today, when we celebrate our 75th Independence Day, my heart goes out to all freedom fighters, known and unknown, who laid down their lives for the freedom of our beloved country. It will not be out of place to mention our brave armed forces who are patrolling the borders, marshalling the skies and waters day in and day out. Quoting Winston Churchill, we sleep safely at night because rough men stand ready to visit violence on those who could harm us. The award ceremony coinciding with the August day will make today an eventful day and make tomorrow a vision of hope of all budding authors and poets. And with this vision of hope, I cherish a desire to remain actively engaged with Team Literoma for all the future endeavors, beckoning you all to the world of success. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, Paramita. Thank you so much. Thanks for your speech. So we are moving to the next winner. Next winner, we have Arundhati Mukherjee, who wins the Literoma Achiever Awards in the Women Achiever category. And definitely, other than being an instrumentation engineer by profession, Arundhati is a prolific writer. And that's why she's winning the award here today. Over to you, Arundhati, for a few words from your side.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so much thankful to Literoma that they have chosen me as for the Women Achiever Award. And today is a very nice day and a 75th anniversary, our Independence Day. And this is something great that they have arranged the Achiever Award ceremony today. This is a coincidence. And for me, this is a very honorable award to win because women in our society is still lagging behind, though they have achieved a lot, but still they are not being respected or getting the same regards as they should get. And Literoma has taken a step to honor the women and the authors also. And I'm so grateful to them that they have taken this step for the welfare of the society at large. Because in the 75th anniversary of our Independence Day, our country has come a long way in the progress of establishing India as in the world stage in many respects. This pandemic saw India grow through the challenges, and they have come out victorious in achieving the invention of the vaccine and getting vaccinated a huge population of this country to a large extent in a very short period of time. And one more thing is that one great achievement, I being an engineer from the power sector, I would like to tell you that we really cherish that India, thus 2 days before, has obtained 100 gigawatts target of renewable energy. And so this is a great achievement and is standing forth in the renewable energy endeavor in the world stage. And so my heartfelt gratitude to all the organizers of Literoma and to all the authors. I congratulate all the Achiever Award winner authors and women here. And I feel very proud to share this stage with all. And also my regards to Sabarna Roy sir for his wonderful speeches and on getting so much inspiration from him. Thank you, Literoma. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Jai Hind. Thank you so much. And congratulations once again, Arundhati. We'll be moving to our next winner. So our next winner is the 11-year-old Rida Zulfikar, who actually becomes the youngest winner in the Young Achiever category of Literoma Achiever Award. So a big round of applause for Rida. In spite of being a young student of class 7, Rida is already a published author with a book titled First Few Tiles of the Road. So over to you, Rida. We are eager to hear something from you.
Good evening. My name is Rida Zulfikar and I am a student of class 7 studying in Mohali. I am a published author, my debut poetry anthology being First Few Tiles of the Road, a collection of 20 poems. My poetry is about hope because hope is, I think, my journey through 2020. I have participated in many poetry collaborations with students of all age groups online, and I'm an active member of Young Writers Society, an online global platform for publishing and reviewing literary works. My poetry anthology has been listed as number 2 hot new releases and number 30 bestsellers list in Amazon, and my poetry has been recited by students of class 9 as a part of cultural curriculum in CJM Waverley School, Mussoorie, Uttarakhand. I have been writing poetry for 3 years now, and I have inspired others to start writing too. My future goal for poetry is to win the Pulitzer Prize, and I want to use my poetry to show all those battling mental health that they are not alone and to give them hope. Lastly, I would like to thank Literoma for giving me the Young Achievers Award, and I would like to thank my friends, families, and mentors for giving me enough confidence to believe in myself and my poetry. Thank you and happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Rida. Happy Independence Day to you too. It's great to know you in details. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
So now we move to our next winner, Shabbir. Shabbir is a budding young actor. He's winning this award in the art and entertainment category, but I think he has not joined the call yet. So once he joins, we'll get back to her. We'll get back to him. The next winner we have is Sarika Singh, who wins it in the author achiever category. We'd love to come back to her once she joins. She's yet to join this particular call. So we'll be moving to our next winner, a very renowned healer and therapist who already has a real big brand of her own, Anita Rajani, who features in this particular list of winners in the author achiever category for her book, Shiv Shakti, which primarily focuses on the principle of divine, masculine, and feminine powers. So it's a very interesting topic. Over to you, ma'am. We'd love to hear a few words from you.
Hi, Kamal, and hi, Ritvika, and hello to all the amazing sirs and publishers and authors who are already present here, and my co-authors who are here to receive the award. I'm really, really grateful to Literoma for this wonderful opportunity that is presented to me, because writing is something which I'm doing for the first time as a book. And it was so encouraging when I was approached by them and given this award. My book, Shiv Shakti, this is all about how the divine masculine and feminine exists in the universe and how it thrives on the experiences that we are experiencing and continuously evolving at the same time. So it's a very beautiful concept, very light read, and I would really wish all of you can read this book and give me some feedback. And Kamal, thank you so much for the encouraging words. Thank you. Thank you for this award.
Pleasure is all ours, ma'am. So actually, Anita ma'am, some of her interviews are already there in our Radio Literoma, and I'll definitely request every one of you to listen to those. It has so kind of positivity in the content which is there. So I personally loved it when I listened to some of her answers, and definitely all of you, I'm sure, will love it. once you listen to them. Those.
Thank you, Kamal.
Thanks, ma'am. So now it's a very interesting segment where we are now. So as I was saying at the beginning of the program today, there will be screening of literary short films of Mr. Sabarna Roy, our chief guest for this event. So it is going to be a 36 minutes screening. And throughout the screening, I'll definitely request everyone to pay attention to some of the details, because there will be a fun quiz which will be happening immediately after this screening. And the fun quiz will be entirely based on the films which will be shown. So have fun, and also don't forget to pay attention to the details. So we'll be having this particular quiz, and towards the end of the program, we'll be declaring the winners of this particular quiz. So please stay tuned and enjoy yourself. So winners will receive prize and certificate. I'll request Mr. Bera to start off with the screening. It's over to you, Mr. Bera.
The Tower.
So I'm
1.
stopping the sharing mode and handing over the control to you, Mr. Bera.
The Tower. 1. The tower where we live is a tall and lonely tower. Standing outside the limits of the city, it reaches into the white tufts of clouds from a huge expanse of land once used for potato farming. This tower, among other towers, has a name. It is popular by its name, Dream Tower. Sometimes I wonder about the dreams of this dream tower. Dreams of its architect, dreams of the masons who worked on it, dreams of the seller, and of the buyers of its apartments, and of the mafia which craftily squeezed the land out of wide-eyed farmers. The tower stands erect like the timeless portal of an arrogant crown. As I walk up its spinal stairwell at nights, pondering over this multitude of dreams, I know these are dreams which still linger in its labyrinths like ghosts. 2. There are times when I stand at the window of my apartment looking at the city where I was born, searching for symbols and patterns that I know exist beneath layers of rising vapor in the air of this city. The smog invariably clouds my vision. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of familiar bridges and a few monuments. Mostly I look at the airplanes taking off and landing incessantly, and the cars that seem to glide on the highway that dives past the distant tower. The farmlands and wetlands around the tower look plundered and ravaged, destroyed by the monstrous man-made construction machinery, giving way to spectacular buildings, deluxe hotels, and shopping malls. I tell a lot of people, not caring to hide the strain of pride in my tone, I live away from the city, amidst greenery and water bodies and clouds. I know this is a lie, yet I prefer saying it. It makes my acquisition look like a prized possession. Soon, the ever-swelling concrete jungle will engulf everything. The nooks and corners, the parks and shady grounds by the lakesides, where I chased solitary, beautiful girls during winter picnics long time ago. 3. I have a friend who is a film critic, progressive, well-read, and talkative on all the matters on earth. I hope you understand what I mean. This guy, after eating a sumptuous meal at my place, summed it up. Sandy, this property makes you look like a man. Men are no longer known for their chivalry or by the charming ways they treat their women. Rather, when we talk of men coming back nowadays, they're actually referring to sedans resembling angry warplanes. My friend's words made me wistful for some time and ponder, was I at all a man enough before taking my place in this tower? 4. My son and daughter have wonderful faces like those fluffy angels in a dream. I have been thinking, can one see such dreams in this tower? My wife, who loves me like a magnificent queen and is my partner in all the crimes that I have committed till date, was the one who made all the installations in our home. The wood-carved, fine leather upholstered furniture, the ornate lighting, the embroidered carpets, and the stainless steel digitized contraptions to do this and that to perfection. My God, the things look so nice and cool and provides you with such deadly comfort that our home almost looks like the insides of a medieval fortress. In this cave, at times, floating on strange clouds, we play hide and seek, make fun of each other, quarrel, see horrendous films and listen to rock, and sleep, and eat, and defecate, and party, coming and going, day in and day out. Do we get bored in this tower? There is no definite way to tell you this. Because when we get bored, we skip channels, change our gym routine. My wife orders for new food. We try out avant-garde stuff in films and theatre, read poetry and make love on different beds, and even change drivers and servants. One night, the stars and the half moon twinkled so brightly in the sky, while the lights from the city looked sad and diffused. I was teaching electrostatics to my children. You must be aware how tough it is to teach adolescents. Something like charging of a gold leaf electroscope by induction. As I jumped into the most dramatic part of my discourse, my daughter furrows her brow, raises her hand, and blurts, "Sandy man, I have something to say." Although I felt irritated to the core, but when this tiny, fiery woman has something to say, you can't stop her. My son feels agitated and, almost taking my side, reacts sharply. "Come, say what all you have to say, quickly. Don't you see Sandy man is making such a bright effort?" Then my daughter asks me this question. "Tell us, you Sandy man, how far is the soul of the city from our tower?" My son becomes thoughtful at the question and as a rejoinder asks, "How can one say, Sandy man, where the soul of a city lies?" Frankly, I feel like a charged electroscope and I end up saying, "The city is so far away from us and its soul, my dear children, lies buried. And if at all you want to find it, you need to unearth a prickly riddle." At this point, my wife makes her glorious entry into the scene and declares, "Sandy, let us all go and live by the side of a sinuous river. You promised to build a cottage on an enchanted shore during our courtship. Memory is something you are incapable of forgetting. And I marvel at my queen's memory, with which she strikes me almost every time at the right hour. The children start singing a meaningless song, boisterously breaking the dead silence of the night. Amidst this increasing cacophony, my tigress gives me a look, which tells me she will fall into my ferocious embrace the moment I leave all this mess and catch her. It happened just then. Our tower took off into the sky like a rocket. 5. When we do not feel like sleeping, which happens many a time, I tell them stories, mostly spooky stories. I told them one a few nights back. I got down from my car, proceeded towards the elevator well in the tower. The tower consists of 2 elevator wells facing each other. We are the only residents in this tower, but the elevator cubicles were tirelessly waiting at ground zero for somebody to occupy their space. I feel very confused about which elevator to board. So I have made a principle of sorts. While descending, I will drive down the southern well, whereas on my way to the top, I will drive up the northern well. I board the northern cubicle, hungry and tired but happy to be back home. The doors of my elevator close, making an unpleasant sound, and I push the button for my floor. My eyes, by fleeting chance, fall on the opposite elevator with doors shut. It looks utterly glum and is melancholically illuminated by its fluorescent lamp. It's vacant and at rest, and I find in it a ball of smoke encircling like the ring of Saturn. As my elevator kickstarts and rushes upwards, I find the opposite elevator rushing upwards all of a sudden, almost at an equal speed. When we race past each other through the intervening floors, I can sight the other elevator momentarily through the glass panels of our respective doors. The emerging ball of smoke growing inside its somnolent chamber into something more concrete, which I cannot readily grasp. As we leave the 6th floor behind, the ball of smoke was gone, and instead I found a man standing in a grotesque posture, looking vacantly at me. He hardly moved, his hungry gaze on me more intense with each passing floor. Once we had crossed the 10th floor, the other elevator accelerated and crossed mine, leaving me terror-struck, and suddenly I realized that this man almost looked like me. He was my body double, wore the same clothes, and carried the same bag and file of papers. It was this mesmerizing similarity that filled my soul with endless darkness. Was this man a heinous impostor? Was this man a terrorist? Would he harm my wife and children? At last, I reached the floor where I live, my chest thumping and heaving against my frail ribcage. My hands shook as I pressed the entrance bell. A few seconds later, our maid had opened the door. When she found me standing in front of the door, she instinctively turned around and rushed inside, calling for my wife. When she was turning, I had glimpsed the shock in her eyes. Surprisingly, I did not enter or make any move, as if I was waiting for approval of others to enter my own home. My wife came and the children followed. She came to the door. I saw a queer look in her eyes. The children looked awestruck. When she spoke, She sounded restrained and withdrawn. What a look-alike, unbelievable. Nobody can believe this. My dear man, don't harm us. My husband is back at home. He has gone to the washroom to take his bath. Tonight we will leave to see the mother of all rivers. As you would know, it is a long and a tedious journey. Spare us, my good man. If you need anything from us, I'm willing to give. If you want our home in this tower, you can have it. We will be leaving for good. 6. My wife belongs to lands where fables are written. I snatched her from a fable and made her mine. In doing so, I made her the heroine of one fable and the vamp in another. There are days when we go to the terrace of this tower, soaking sun in our burnt-out bodies, standing taller, and looking breathlessly at the city, which feels like a crouching demon inching towards us. Will we feel like immigrants forever on this planet? To douse our eternal fears, we pray like devotees are required to pray. We end all our prayers with one line: let this city keep some space for our children, whose faces resemble those fluffy angels in a dream.
Was I left inside an airless chamber, a vacuum in my intermittent dreams? The chamber was made of glass panels, suffocating and chilling. Outside, I could see flakes of snow floating in midair. I was losing every bit of myself gradually. My alphabets, my words, my sentences, my paragraphs, my stories. I could no longer breathe inside the chamber. My insides were churning, on the verge of a violent vomit. As my eyes closed, I saw my mother, disheveled, running wildly inside the jungle away from me. And then I saw them coming back to me like hurling rockets. My alphabets, my words, my sentences, my paragraphs, my stories, like colorful graffiti on the end wall. Will I rise up from the ashes? Will I rise up from the ashes? Will I rise up from the ashes? To roam around the bylanes where your fragrance trails through the air, ignoring the perennial mist of squalid dust and soot. Will I rise up from the ashes? Will I rise up from the ashes to swim in the sparkling waters where you have swum, leaving behind your dead cells and the asphyxiation of your supple body in the ripples of the water? Will I rise up from the ashes to fly in a balloon on which we have traveled through the blue sky and white walls of clouds, and we have cried together in joy, flying in the air above the shining metropolis? Will I rise up from the ashes? Well, the saucer fell from my hands into a sunless well. Somewhere in the distance,
I could hear porcelain breaking on jagged rocks, splintering into tiny million pieces. I glanced at my hands. They were shaking, trembling. My right leg was shaking too. My eyes strained inside the sunless well. Silence and darkness and pungent aroma bubbled like fog from the ancient well. And then, if you concentrated a bit hard, you could hear a few muffled screams rising too. It seemed somebody was being strangled, bones cracking, and there was a struggle. Then I looked behind me. There was a long queue of men and women with asphyxiation written over their faces and trembling saucers in their hands. A moonlight man with a beam of a cane in his hand pointed towards me and announced, "You are next." They forgot to put my body on fire, on freshly chopped logs of wood, on oil cracking and boiling. They forgot the charm of cotton ball plugs, the sight of wetted white petals of fecund flowers, the absent-minded twirl of smoke chains, incense sticks, the sonorous trail of holy hymns, crackling sounds of earthen pots, and above all, the communal mourning around a corpse. Instead, they hurled me down inside a pit, laboriously excavated, dark and deep, and instantaneously covered it up with fast-setting slurry, with a sleight of hands that can be defeated only by mystic magicians at work. So, I exist there, frosted miles below, from where you are waging your philosophical wars on trains against commuters struggling to reach their office on time, commissioning ecstatic cocaine soirees on yachts and rafts, executing orgies with strangers on a plane, stealing antiquity from private museums of Novio billionaires. For you had once told me, "I'll blow up my life," indoctrinating me with the scent of your body and introducing me to the nucleus of this explosive club, Death Rattle Clan. What holds me here is an intricate web of undefined silence and darkness, so pure in form in this marsh of soil, water, plant roots, and rotting flesh. You worry sometimes, don't you? Struggling in sleep? Do I remember your face and touch as I crossed over the perimeter of life? Do I know that your face is one among their faces? Do I remember all their faces as distinctly as I should? Do I remember our plot of blowing up our lives? Might I end up sharing it with a fellow corpse? Remembering and forgetting our complex phenomena even otherwise, more so after you have crossed the gate. Sometimes nowadays I will to laugh at our words, words crafted out of beliefs, mostly non-beliefs, yet preached with so much intensity, precision and timing, a way of time passing for all of us at this explosive club, Death Rattle Clan. Obitra Babu recounted this experience of his to me in his wood paneled study on the New Year Eve of 2017. Until 4 years ago, he would regularly visit a small eatery on an extended branch of Sudder Street on Saturday evenings to eat a small meal of chicken steak on plate with sorted vegetables and French fries and hot bread rolls with butter. He would park his BMW in the parking area along the MLA hostel because he wanted to take a little walk, chat with Parashuram, a street beggar whom he happened to meet by chance one rainy evening when he was, instead of finding a shelter, persistently begging for some change from Pavitra Babu. His doggedness attracted Pavitra Babu because he appreciated doggedness in every profession. Pavitra Babu loved dogs and doggedness in human character. One evening, Pavitra Babu was feeling happiness swelling inside him. He'd actually signed a very profitable contract for his company after long and painstaking rounds of negotiations. When he met Parashuram that evening, he was looking patronizingly towards him, and he said with affection and warmth,
"Tell me, Parashuram, one wish you have that I can fulfill."
Parashuram replied immediately, "Sir, I want to see the wonders of Kolkata in your air-conditioned car. The streetwalkers will be sweating off like hell, but you, your chauffeur and I will be delightfully cold in your sleek ship. Sir, only for an hour." So Pavitra Babu, having had his steak, took him around for 2 hours and not 1 hour as was requested by Parashuram, setting the car temperature at 18 degrees Celsius on a very hot and sultry monsoon late evening, watching the delights of National Museum, Victoria Memorial, Racecourse, National Library, Second Hooghly Bridge and Khidarpur Dockyard, well, all from the outside, sitting within the chilled confines of Pavitra Babu's BMW. Next Saturday, when Pavitra Babu returned, he did not find Parashuram around. So he inquired about him with the other beggars. They said the wretched old man had died 2 days back on the street, coughing blood and reeling under constant fever and throbbing chest pain caused due to pneumonia. Pavitra Babu was thunderstruck and never returned to Southern Street area ever.
The dream returned to kingship. Sitting at the pinnacle of his technology empire at the 23rd annual general meeting, looking at the ocean of his empire's expectant stakeholders' eyes, tastings at a behemoth banquet, well done, of a super deluxe resort, the dream returned to kingship. The night Ma abandoned him and Baba, she crooned in his ears. He was fast asleep. The words penetrated his semi-conscious, remained embedded there in labyrinthine layers. What if the planet is no longer an oblong spheroid, but a plateau, so that you can reach the edge of the planet and jump into dark space? King, it is not important to know what others state as facts, but to know them for yourself. Be unbound and unfettered in life as the medieval explorers, merchants, and pirates. The dream returned to King Shuk. As he went to the podium, he announced an annual dividend of 75% in these times of legendary economic disaster. His shareholders rejoiced and clapped boisterously, and chants of "Data mining is the future of all money-making" filled the air. Corporations are making money out of snooping on people's lives and pushing them towards choices like never before. Meanwhile, King Shuk took small sips of his cognac and smiled a wry smile, remembering Ma and the dream. The rains nowadays remind me of the grasslands of childhood. The unending waterlogged fields spread across the horizon. The beauty of naked adolescent boys. Nascent muscular torsos entwined in motion. Pacing and swerving a wretched football against the friction of water and blades of uneven grassy growth, pools of mud, sheets of water falling from the sky, speeding drenched cheetahs as if in a choreographed wild opera in slow motion. The last move, and then a shooting volley inside the goal. Hands thrown up in joy, applause rocking and roaring as a bolt of massive thunder divides the universe into two teams, one that wins and the other that does not. The drenched cheetahs run again for another goal. Images ravaged by time float through my mind like ancient cinema. Aging is reaching tranquility. Aging is getting plundered by the pain of memories of other worlds. I had a strange dream last night. My son Bholu and I were floating lazily in the Dead Sea on a late afternoon. The night sky gradually shrouded us. Bholu was in a trance, listening to Steven Wilson on his Apple AirPods with his eyes closed. My eyes were focused on the distant mountains. Jerusalem is on this mountain, a holy place of three monotheistic theologies. The lights in Jerusalem glowed like stars as night descended on us. Jerusalem is a mystery in my soul. I told Bholu stories about Jerusalem. He listened to them intently. We showered, changed, and retreated to the adjacent Movenpick resort, where to our dismay they had laid out cold cuts of tuna and salmon with some beetroot salad as a sorry excuse for dinner. Around midnight, we drove to Amman. Driving from damp heat to cool breeze, we went to a Mediterranean nightclub where a medley of Basic Instinct was playing. Young and attractive girls and boys of all nationalities were dancing. The air was filled with smoke, mostly weed and single malt aroma mixed with the scent of French perfumes, designer shampoos sold on Champs-Élysées hit our nostrils, and well-toned flesh greeted our eyes. After a couple of single malts, we left the club. On the drive back, an Arab informed us. An asteroid has hit Costa Verde, part of Lima. Thunderstruck, I reacted with horror. Has anything happened to Jorge Mario Pedro Vargas Llosa? The Arab hadn't heard this strange name. At a very early breakfast, we were eating falafel at a 24/7 restaurant when Bolu asked me two questions. You have been an atheist all your life, yet you are excited about traveling to old theological places. Sharnath, Benares, Jerusalem. Do you miss God in your life? Do writers who affect you become more significant to you than your family? At this point, I woke up.
This is mesmerizing stuff, I must say. So I'm sure that most of you are also thinking the same thing. So as promised, we will have a quick quiz before we get back to the Achievers Award once again. So there will be a quick quiz. So 10 questions will be asked basically, which will actually help us to gather our thought better on the video that has been displayed. So the rule is very simple. It's fastest finger first. In the chat box, you have to type in your answer. Whoever answers it first gets full point for that. So obviously you have to give the correct answer. There is no marking for the wrong answer. So whoever answers it correct gets the full point. At the end of the 10 questions, whoever scores the highest becomes the winner, and we'll be collating and we'll be announcing the winners' names towards the end of this program. So here we go. Quick set of 10 questions based on the videos that have been played. Here we go ahead with the first ones. In case someone is having problem listening to me, please let me know. Otherwise, you can just feel free to make use of the chat box only. Here goes the first question. What is the format or type of the first poetry bunch, The Tower? What is the format or type that you have to identify? You can put in your answer in the chat box. There's 15 seconds of time which will be given for each and every question. You have to mark it to everyone so that everyone can see. No correct answer received, no answer received actually. So the answer was, of course, the ballad. And I'll be going to the next question. The next question is, the daughter in the poem The Tower asks author about blank of the city. You have to give me this blank. One word was used. So we got the answer. Yes, it's the soul. Perfect. So full marks for Shrutapa Datto. Moving to the next question. There was one story which was narrated. In the story, what was the name of the street beggar whom Pabitra Babu gave a lift in his car? You have to put the name of the beggar. We got the right answer once again from the same person. Yes, it is Parashuram. The spelling is a little different, but we will give full marks to you for this. So we go to the next question. Again, this one also is related to the same story. What was the brand of the car which Pabitra Babu used to drive? We have 3 answers, 4 answers. I'll wait for 15 seconds. Okay, any more answer? Nothing as of now. Cool. So we already got the right answer. Yes, it is BMW. So Lexus was not the right answer. BMW was the right answer. We move to the next question. The 5th one. So the author narrated about a couple of elevators. Okay, who the author sees in the lonely elevator of the tower? Who the author sees in the lonely elevator of the tower? No answer received. The answer was himself. Himself is the answer. So now we'll go back to one more question. Question number 6. There was one character named King Shuk. And the name of the company was also told. You have to give me what was the company name of King Shuk. Question number 6. I'll wait for 10 more seconds. No answer received. So I'll be moving to the next question. So the answer was the Insight company. So I'll move to the 7th question. 7th question is again based on one of the poems. What was the sport the boys were playing in the rains? You have to just tell the name of the sport. There is a very distinct video about it. What was the sport the boys were playing in the rains? Perhaps one of the most popular sports across the globe. You can take a guess also if you want. Okay, since no answer received, I'll give away the answer. It's the football, right? So last 3 questions in this quiz segment. A city was referred. The name of the city was Amman. So where did the author travel? You just need to give me the name of the place where the author traveled. The last, I'm referring to the last poem. Pretty significant place. Wait for 5 more seconds. Okay, no answer received for question number 8 also. It was, of course, the Jerusalem. I'll once again go back to the story for the last 2 questions. Couple of simple questions. So once again, I'm going back to the story named where the 2 characters were Parashuram and Pabitra Babu. So someone of you had already given this answer on Parashuram. So here the question is, In which street of Kolkata was Pabitra Babu having his food? You have to give the name of the street. Any guess from? Yes, we got the correct answer. It's the Sadar Street. Lovely. So, great work. We got the correct answer for the last but one question. Here we move ahead with the final question. So the final question is pretty simple. The answer will be either yes or no. Once again, related to the story, the same story. I'm referring to the same story. You have to tell me, did Pabitra Babu show Khidirpur dock to the street beggar Parashuram? Yes or no? So wait for 7 seconds. Any other response? No response, but the answer is yes. Yes. So once again, Chutapa has cracked it. So well done. That brings us to the end of the quiz. I think it was a good, fun quiz to reinforce the videos which we had seen. It was a lovely video, lovely presentation. Overall mesmerizing presentation. Just wanted to engage with every one of you through a small quiz. So that was the intent of it. Thank you for your enthusiastic participation. Now we'll once again move ahead with the remaining part of our Achievers Award. And of course, in between, we'll come back to Mr. Sabarna Roy as well. So as the next segment, I'll go to our next Literoma Achiever Award winner, Dr. Usha Sridhar. Dr. Usha wins this particular award in the Author Achiever category. Since she's not here in the call, I'll come back to her once she joins. Next, we have Kirti. Kirti is a winner in this Achiever Award as well, but I think we had already seen she was not there when her name was announced earlier. So we'll wait and we'll come back to her for a combined speech. The next person we have is Mr. Bhavesh Patel. He is here as the winner of Literoma Achiever Awards in the Social Achiever category for doing some fantastic work for the society. We have Mr. Patel with us, so I'd love to hear a few words from him. Over to you, Mr. Bhavesh.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible to you?
You have to increase the sound level a bit, little feeble.
Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to get awarded by Literoma Publishing. And thank you to the guest of honor for sharing his, achievements here. Sir, I'm working for climate change mitigation. Climate change today, it's a big issue across the globe. And as today it's 75th year of Independence Day, I have written something on it. So let me read it out. As we celebrate 75th year of independence, we embark our journey to make India a superpower at par with global developed economies, even in terms of environmental dynamics. It is thus pertinent to come on a war footing with climate change. Let India achieve freedom from CO2 emission through our congruent efforts at all times. Sir, on this platform, I request one and all to give their part once in a week or so to combat the climate change issue. Climate change or global warming is a rise in temperature, the atmospheric temperature, due to which we are facing the meltdown of our ice across this Antarctic and Arctic regions. So by 2050, there is a prediction that most of the countries which are located near to the ocean are about to get inundated because of this climate change issue. So I request one and all to be part of this mother problem. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Thank you so much. It's really great work. Great to know about the type of work that you are doing. Congratulations on winning this recognition. I think it plays a tiny role in encouraging you further in doing.
And
keeping
sir, apart from this, I would love to add that now we are all living in this planet. So it is our natural duty to come together and fight against this issue, sir. As now it's I think we need to have we need to fight against this issue by birth, sir.
Right, right.
It is our natural duty.
True, true. Absolutely.
Because,
I completely agree with you.
Take the case of other things, like we have other social issues in our daily life. These are man-made.
Correct.
Yeah.
True.
But
the responsibility is with all of us.
Natural.
True.
Yeah.
True. Thanks for your thoughts, Mr. Patel. Really, I completely agree with what you are saying. We'll definitely all be with you in this endeavor. Thank you and congratulations.
Yeah.
Moving to the next winner, we have Sunita Sahu, who is a tech and an ardent storyteller by passion. But I think Sunita is also not a part of this call, so we'll come back to her once she joins. I'll be moving to the next winner. As the next winner, we have Kaveri Mukherjee, who is a writer of more than 400 poems, and she is getting recognized in the Author Achiever category. But I think she dropped off. She was there in the call. She dropped off. So we'll once again come back to her in case she joins back. We'll once again go back to the Independence Day winner segment, where we'll ask the selected authors to read out their pieces. So first we have Akshara Farke. Akshara is not there in the call. Ananya is there. So I'll request Ananya Pahadi to read out the lovely message which she had contributed as a part of this Independence Day campaign. Over to you, Ananya. Ananya, you are not audible yet. Ananya, you have to unmute yourself. We are not able to hear.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Ananya, you are audible.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. First of all, thank you, Literoma, for allowing me to participate and considering my write-up to be one of the selected ones. I couldn't switch on the video because there's a lot of connectivity issue here at my place. So, is it okay if I go like this?
No worry, that's fine. Only audio is also okay.
Okay, thank you. So here I read. Oh, freedom, I wanted to be liberated. Oh, freedom, I wanted to be liberated. You allowed me. But then why my freedom was jabbed in among the connoisseurs? I asked this question to the court of justice, but they freed the rapists on the grounds that they were adolescents. They freed the rapists on the grounds that they were adolescents. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Wasn't I an adolescent too? Wasn't I an immature as well? Was my freedom meant to be so taxing? No, right? No, right? But the court of injustice was blind. I am haunting, but the candles are blown off now. I am haunting, but the candles are blown off now, and so is my hope for freedom. So is my hope for freedom. So thank you so much.
It's lovely, Ananya. Lovely expression. Wonderful way to capture something which we discuss a lot, but the way you had represented it is
it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
It's really hard hitting, and therefore it is effective. So that's the best way I can put it. Thanks, Ananya.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
So moving to our next author, Shubrata Bandyopadhyay is not a part of this call, so I'll be making a move to our next winner. As the next winner, we have Shireen Sultana as the Literoma Achiever Awards winner in the Young Achiever category. Her book, 1:2000, makes her actually one of the youngest novelists from the city of Joy, Kolkata. She is also known globally for her research work on multiple controversial topics like rise of nationalism and its development in India and the world. So sounds pretty interesting, and definitely it will be a great honor to get a chance to listen to her. Over to you, Shireen. I guess you are on mute. You have to unmute yourself. If I may request you to unmute yourself, Shireen. Shireen, are you there? Because I can see her name on the screen. Okay, in case there is any technical glitch, we'll go ahead and we'll come back once you are available. So one final call for her. Cool. We'll move ahead. Next, we have Dr. Shubhra Jamwal, who is winning the award in the Author Achiever category. So it would have been lovely to have her here, but Shubhra is also not a part of this call yet. So we'll get back. I'm moving to the next winner, Amol Redich, who happens to be winning this particular award in the Author Achiever category for outstanding writing globally and nationally. He had already been getting published across the globe, including countries like Canada and India. So we'd love to listen to you, Mr. Amol. Over to you, Amol.
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone. First of all, happy Independence Day to all of you. I'm really thankful and honored that Literoma has selected me for this prestigious award. So going a little into the past, I'm an electronics engineer by education and an IT consultant by profession. Writing has been my hobby since, I would say, school or perhaps college days, when I started writing plays and short skits. My experimentation with poetry grew when I was in my engineering college, and a lot of my reading was around Nietzsche, Tolstoy, Albert Camus, Neruda, and some of the Marathi renowned poets like Grace, Namdev Dhasal. So that's what actually got me attracted to poetry, where you're bound to capture imagery in very short verses, or in a very compact form, but in a very profound manner. So I have had 2 books of poetry published already, and my poems have featured in international magazines in London, Canada, as well as nationally in India. So I currently have about more than 800 poems waiting to be published, so which I'm planning to start this year onwards. I have also been into making short films, so in the capacity of assistant director and dialogue writer and script supervisor. So journey so far has been good, and I hope to keep contributing to literary art in the future as well. And that keeps harnessing my writing passion. And last but not least, I would like to thank my family, who has been very supportive and patient in understanding my creative curiosity and standing by me to nurture all that is coming out of me in the creative form. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Literoma. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amol. And congratulations on winning this award.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Next, we have Dr. Shruti Karishma, a doctor by profession, who is basically equally efficient with her scalpel and creativity. Another person whom just like him whom we had, but Shruti is again stuck due to a medical commitment. So therefore, we'll be moving to the next winner, Ramaya V, who is winning this award in the Author Achiever category for exploring different dimensions through her writing. For Ramaya also, I think we have to wait for another day or maybe sometime today, because she's also not a part of this call. And last but not the least, we have Institute of Spiritual Sciences, India. So this is another body being run by Shima, which Anjali had already talked about in a very detailed manner. So this organization makes the cut in the Women Achiever category of Literoma Achiever Awards for incomparable transformation which they're making. And I think Anjali had already given a very detailed insight about the institutes. So that brings us to the end of the Achiever Award winners. So to close the Independence Day winners, I'll now go to the last set of contributors, the fourth set and the last set. So I'll begin with Mr. Rajeshwara. So Mr. Rajeshwara is not there in the call. So I'll go to Anita Panda. Yeah, I saw her in the chat box answering a few questions. So I'll go to Anita Panda so that she can read the piece which she had submitted.
Can you see me? Am I audible and visible?
Yes, both. Please go ahead, ma'am.
I've unmuted myself and also unmuted the video. Can you see me?
Yes, yes, you are absolutely visible and audible as well.
Okay, thank you, Tamal, and thank you, Literoma, for this amazing platform and opportunity. I hope everybody understands Hindi here.
Most of us, yes.
Okay. तो स्वतंत्रता दिवस की शुभकामनाएं सभी को। भारत के हर स्वतंत्रता सेनानी, हर जवान, हर फौजी और हर नागरिक को, हर देशभक्त नागरिक को के जज्बे और होश को, हिम्मत को सलाम। मेरी ये पंक्तियां हैं, कुछ हिंदी में पेश कर रही हूँ। जहां हो आजादी अभिव्यक्ति और अधिकारों की, लिंग, धर्म, भाषा, जन्म, जात पात की हो जहां आजादी, अपराध, हिंसा, अभाव से हो जहां आजाद देश और समाज, परिवर्तन, प्रगति, विचारों की हो जहां आजादी, संप्रभुता और एकता हो जहां अक्षुण्ण, ऐसी हो आजादी की परिभाषा और अभिलाषा। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. That's a lovely thought, actually. It's a very powerful one.
Thank you, Tamal.
And so glad that it has come in a different language also. So
thank you so much for honoring that thought.
Moving to our next author, Preeti Dhopte. Preeti is not a part of this call. So therefore, we'll once again go back to our chief guest for an open forum. But prior to that, we have a couple of more questions from Team Literoma, which we love to ask sir before we open this particular forum for everyone. In the meantime, you can definitely write your question in the chat box so that once I complete the couple of questions that we have from Team Literoma, we can actually get into those questions and ask sir. So sir, couple of questions actually, which we'll definitely love to ask you. 10 years down the line, where do you see yourself as an author?
Well, I think I'm presently writing 2 books. One is basically a romantic black comedy, and one is a technical book. And after I have finished these 2 books this year, I think I would rather quit writing because I have nothing more to say. I would rather submit myself to my queen, to whom I had dedicated the tower, to write for Her Highness privately, which will be a museum of poems, museum of forgetting and not forgetting, which I want that after my death, my son should publish. My target is to write 1,000 poems for her, but this will be private communication and this will become public after my death.
So we'll hope that you will change your mind, because that will be a great loss for a lot of your fans, because if you stop writing. So on that note, will you like to give any particular message to your readers before we go ahead with the open forum? Just if you want to pass on any message for the readers.
I don't think I have any message for anybody except for the fact that I would like people to write honestly, write more frequently, write from the bottommost part of their hearts, and write with more clarity. That's all.
That's a crisp and very effective message, I must say. Now, I'll quickly check the chat box once, if there is any question which is there. By the time there is any question which is popping up, I'll also love to ask you if you would like to share a memorable incident from your life which relates to your literary success. So any particular memorable incident that you will love to share?
Well, I think, I don't know. I mean, you see, I've got, I've written, now I have written 7 literary books and 2 technical books. And with the 8th and the 3rd technical book, I would have written in 11 years, almost 11 books. That's approximately 1 book a year. I have received not many awards, but the most memorable incident would be the first royalty check. Rather, it was an NEFT transfer from my publisher, which I got, which was a very memorable day and also a boosting of my self-confidence. Because, as I said earlier, I am a person with some kind of Jewish instinct. I love to do good work, but I also want to earn money.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you.
So if there is no other question, then we will love to say a big thanks to you for your lovely message, for staying with us throughout the program, and also for...
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
It was really a pleasure for us also, and also for the lovely audio visuals which were played. All of us had enjoyed it thoroughly. So, sir, we'll come back to you for your last concluding remarks. And just before that, have a couple of announcements to make. So first one is the fun quiz winner announcement. So I think all of you might have already collated it. Shudipa Dotto wins it, and also the runner-up is Anita Panda. So there will be a communication which will be going to you both by tomorrow. So congratulations, Shudipa and Anita. Also others for enthusiastically playing, and more than the quiz, I guess you enjoyed the content, and that is more important. So congrats to both of you. And there will be a couple of communications which will be also going from our end to you by tomorrow. One will be regarding the address collation, so that the kids can, the award winning kids can reach your place. And also secondly, there will be further communication on how you can check out the recording, some part of it. So with that, I'll stop sharing the screen as we had come to an end. Before I go to our chief guest, Mr. Sabarna Roy, for a few concluding remarks, I will I'll request everyone to switch on their video so that we can go ahead and take a group photo. So if it's possible, I'll request kindly switch on your video. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sir, over to you for your remarks about the event.
Well, I have been associated with Literoma for quite a long time now, and I would like to say specifically two things that Ritika and you have been doing a brilliant job in what I should say. This is kind of literary entrepreneurship, which is so good. And also supporting a lot of people which otherwise would have gone unseen, and trying to build up a camaraderie of people who can do more work with in the future with a lot more confidence and self-esteem. So this is a brilliant exercise and brilliant effort. Kudos to you both. Please keep doing these kind of works. This is very good. This is very good indeed and very encouraging. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure is all ours. It means a lot to have these kind words of encouragement from your side.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And
thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this program. So before we leave, a very happy Independence Day to everyone. Have a great time. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Literoma.